B.J. Slicker, who has 7,322 yards career passing, the third best in the history of the state of Indiana, has a total of 2,200 yards this year. He has 24 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. You know, my goodness, what a place to start. But the Chargers have a lot of weapons besides him.
That's right. North usually comes out and does a great job on their opening drive, usually scoring every time. They mix it up on the first drive. They usually run the ball real well, and they pass it, and that opens up the passing game.
Kevin Templeman, 210 pounds and a junior, runs from the fullback position, averaging 6.5 yards a carry. He has 500 yards on the season, 8 touchdowns. Manny Cervantes will have the scat back work out of the tailback position. He has 440 yards, averaging just at 5 yards per carry. 5 scores also for the 5'6", 155-pound junior. The targets for Slicker are many. He'll throw to as many as 5 different receivers, including the 2 running backs. Jason Gwynn, the sure-handed tight end senior, stands 6 foot 200 pounds. He has 34 catches for 550 yards and 5 touchdowns on the season. He had touchdowns both against Delphi and Speedway in playoff action. The big number, though, is Jason McCormick, the 6 foot 155-pound junior flanker. Versus Delphi, he had 2 touchdowns, 1 through the air, 1 on the ground. Last week against Speedway, catches of 52 and 55 yards. On the season, McCormick has a total of almost 800 yards receiving, 25 yards per catch, 10 touchdowns, a long of 81 on the season. Slicker will also throw to Aaron Yerkes. Yerkes is a 5'10", 150-pound junior. Slicker will also throw the ball in the direction of Sean Ratcliffe, who has 21 catches for 400 yards. The 180-pound, 6'2" junior has 3 scores also. Clint Calder will catch the ball also as a target of Slicker, 5'9", 150 pounds. The senior has 13 catches for 270 yards, averaging 20 yards a catch on the season, 3 scores along with 67 yards. The Chargers, 9-1 on the season, looking to win their first ever sectional championship ball game here in Class 2A sectional 30 time. Certainly an interesting ball game developing here in front of us.
Yeah, it really is. And, you know, the Colts is going to play a little bit of a problem for both teams tonight, Jeff. The people that adjust to that very well. North Montgomery, obviously, probably the more talented of the 2 teams, but as you've talked about before, if they can avoid that bugaboo that's faced them the last 3 years.
Certainly a running team. We'll talk about their offense a little bit more as we go along, but Chris Pryor is a 200-pound senior fullback who's rushed for just under 1,000 yards, and Sam DeWeese is a 175-pound senior who has rushed for just under 900 yards on the campaign. North Montgomery, as we noted, has won the toss. They will take the ball as we get ready to start football playoff action here for Class 2A. TJ Fritchie will kick off for Monrovia. The Bulldogs in their traveling white jerseys with green pants and white trim will kick off here as, again, we have got North getting ready to receive this opening kickoff. McCormick deep, one of the players. Here's a low line drive kick as we're underway. Templeman takes the ball at his own 21-yard line. Straight up the middle of the field. Templeman looking left, gets to across the 30 and the 35-yard line is brought down at about the 38-yard line as the 16-yard return by Templeman will set North Montgomery up first down and 10. And Tom, if you're going to look for electricity, you got to go behind you. That's the only spot that's open on the wall. North Montgomery, we get a last-second entry here from the film crew from Monrovia. Slicker coming out over center. He'll call a lot of plays at the line of scrimmage. He'll set up a one-back offense behind him with 2 tight ends. Wide outs to each side with Templeman in the point right behind Slicker. On first down, looking at a 4-3, making a 4-4 defense initially for Monrovia. Templeman gets the first call. On the first play, he'll just go right up the middle, right behind some good blocking, as Coach German talked about. Templeman will get a couple. Tom, good line blocking, as we've talked about all year long for North. Kevin Crow at left tackle, 215 pounds, and a junior. Brandon Wolf doing a great job, the 170-pound junior left guard. Those were 2 real big question marks going into the season.
They really were, and they do a good job. What looks like is going to be a 1 or 2 yard gain. Actually, North Montgomery's going to pick up 4, and they're going to take it all the way out to about the 42-yard line, set up 2nd and 6.
Center Brian Brown, the 195-pound senior. Jason Brown, right guard, is a 175-pound junior, come up to set over center as North looks at a 2nd down and 6 there across the 40-yard line. We'll call it the 42. I formation set up behind BJ. Back to throw on the play action. He's got a man open across the middle. Gwynn can't get his hands on it. The ball is tipped and nearly intercepted as sophomore safety Kai Kizzy touches the ball and tips it away. 3 interceptions, the leading defensive back for Monrovia.
Yeah, the ball was right at Kizzy, thrown almost exactly to him. That's that simple play where you see Jason Gwynn cut up the middle, and then he starts to break down that left seam, and BJ's got the ball a little bit too far in front of him as Gwynn broke up field.
North faces a 3rd down and long situation on their first possession of the ball game. Cervantes will come scooting out of the ball game, as also does Ratcliffe, as North will set wideouts 1 to each side. McCormick is wide to the left side. Calder comes wide right. Templeman into block. Quick slant pass on the right side. The pass is to Calder. Calder breaks the tackle, has the first down. He's out near midfield and crosses the 50-yard line. Great individual effort by North. Gets the first down and saves the drive.
Yeah, great play by Clint Calder. He gets himself out on that right flat about 2 yards upfield. Gets the pass from BJ, makes a move to the inside, steps outside, goes down the sideline for the first down. And Clint will have to come up big, not only tonight, but as North progresses through the state tournament, because he'll have to take some pressure off the double team on Jason McCormick.
Linebacker Chris Pryor makes the tackle, but not before. Calder comes up with 9 yards and a first down. We'll call it first down and 10 on the Monrovia 49-yard line. Two wideouts go to the left side now for North Montgomery. I formation sets up behind Slicker on first down on the first possession of the ball game for the Chargers. Slicker gives the ball to the I-back. This is Cervantes. Breaks the tackle as he works left side. He'll pick up 4 yards or so to get down near the 45-yard line. Once again, Pryor comes up from an outside linebacker position, Tom, to make the tackle after the gain of 4.
Manny Cervantes has gotten so much better as the season has progressed of hitting the hole as it opens up, Jeff, and he gets that. He knows he's not, that play is not designed to pick up more than 3 or 4 yards. He's going to get his 3 yards, and he's going to be driven back by that linebacking core of Monrovia.
We'll get that ICAC left foot, right foot spot. Actually call it 3 yards. One other offensive lineman we haven't talked about yet for North is Brad LaFoon, the 210-pound senior right tackle. It's interesting to note, Tom, that Coach German mentioned the offensive line for North does not play any defense at all, and that is what has helped make them so strong through the course of the 10 games this year. The Chargers look to 3 wideouts, 2 go wide to the right. On a quick slant pass, here's McCormick left side. He's got the first down. He's inside the 40, out near the 35-yard line of Monrovia. Todd Huff makes the tackle, but I'll tell you, Tom, I don't know if Monrovia can stop that play or stop Jason McCormick much tonight.
And Brent Harris points out they had double coverage on the far side on Jason McCormick, and on this side they had a single coverage man on 2 split receivers for North Montgomery, one being Clint Calder, the other one being Jason Gwynn. And if that's going to happen, then they're just going to pick it, because Gwynn will go down the seam, and they'll put Calder down that right sideline on a fly pattern, and BJ will just have his pick of which one he wants to go to, and that one receiver is going to have to guess, or the defensive back will have to guess.
Todd Huff has the tackle. McCormick's got 10. North Montgomery's got a first down. They got the ball first and 10 on the Monrovia 37-yard line. Here comes Templeman in motion. We got a swing pass to the right side. Lots of blockers. McCormick's got some room. Breaks the tackle down inside the 30, down to the 25-yard line of Monrovia. Huff comes up to make the tackle, but again, North comes up. We've seen about 4 different formations, 4 different sets, 13 yards, Tom, as North just unloads offensively here on their first series.
You got to love that play when they bring Kevin Templeman, the fullback, in motion to this side and then swing him out. He's simply there to be a blocker. He's a pulling fullback is what he essentially turns out to be, and he just gets out front. You hope he can spring one block and free Jason McCormick a 13-yard pickup.
McCormick and Ratcliffe go wide to the left side on first down. Now as North Montgomery gets down close to Pater, down close to the red zone. Cervantes goes in motion to the left side, floods on the left now for the Chargers. On the handoff, here's Templeman around the left side, inside the 15, down near the 10-yard line. It'll be close to a first down. Jerry Dotson's got the hit, but North Montgomery is in the red zone. First down, says Tom. It'll be first and goal to go for the Chargers.
So it's going to be first down at the 11 or 12-yard line here, so they'll be able to get a first down. But you talk about when North frees one of those running backs out of the backfield, Jeff, and gets them out on the side, that it frees things up for just that play. They can just run straight up the middle, and they've spread that defense. The defense is so worried about those split receivers, they give up room, and they give up room in the middle, and Kevin Templeman finds it.
Well, if they leave that kind of room all night long, as on a quick count, here's the call. It's going to go to Templeman inside the 10, down to about the 7-yard line. Kai Kizzy comes up from a safety position to make the hit, as also Greg Taylor there to help out. But, John, my goodness, what line surge on this first series of downs the Chargers have had.
That's right. Excellent job, North Montgomery, mixing it up. They're throwing the ball real well, running it. Kevin Templeman's doing a great job.
4 yards on the carry. It'll be second down now and a short 6 to go, as now North does go inside the 10-yard line. We played only 4 minutes of this first quarter. The Chargers have had it ever since we started. Looking, though, to get their first score of the ball game. Splitting out wide to the left side goes Calder and McCormick. I formation set up behind Slicker on second down. Here comes the call as Slicker stands over center. Takes the snap, drops back, wide pitch. Cervantes has it. He's got a blocker in front of him. Templeman, and Cervantes has the first score. Touchdown, run from 7 yards. Manny Cervantes and the Chargers take the lead.
Kevin Templeman is that lead blocker. His job is to kick out that defensive end or outside linebacker. Whoever steps up, he does that perfectly. Manny Cervantes goes in untouched into the end zone at 6-0 Chargers.
Manny Cervantes has his 6th rushing touchdown of the season, and North Montgomery, as we have seen all season long, will line up for a 2-point extra point attempt here. 7.5 minutes to go in this first quarter of play as North Montgomery has marched down the field. Except for one third down conversion, they've made it look pretty easy. Slicker will set up over center, send wides out to each side. Cervantes will stay in behind him, and Cervantes will get the ball, crashing the left side behind the blocking of Kevin Kroll and Brandon Wolf. In from 2 yards out, the Chargers have 2, and they lead 8-0. 7.5 minutes to go in this first quarter. The Chargers will kick off when you return. Action, Templeman will kick off. Puts the right foot into it, kicks it down deep, middle of the field. Here's Ryan Toole with a football. Toole moving up the middle of the field, will return to about the 25, make it almost the 30-yard line, where the Chargers will set back defensively, and Monrovia, after the 18-yard return, will set up first down and 10.
Jeff, real quickly, the scoring drive for North Montgomery, they went 62 yards in 9 plays. It took them 4 minutes and 30 seconds. A 7-yard per play average, capped off by the 7-yard Manny Cervantes run. Manny also ran in the 2-point conversion. It's 8-0 Chargers.
Senior quarterback Todd Huff brings his offense out for the first time in this football game. He'll have Chris Pryor and Sam DeWeese behind him, as now shifting into a single back formation. We got wideouts on one on each side. As on the first play from scrimmage, it'll be nowhere quick. It'll be Pryor. Tim Flagg, who made the tackle on the kickoff, and Mike Gerald to help out, will knock Pryor back for a loss of 1. The original line of scrimmage was probably about the 32-yard line. It'll now be second down and a short 11 to go here for the Bulldogs. Not a good start offensively.
I was going to say the Charger defense picks up where it left off last week against Speedway, Jeff, not allowing anything up the middle, and we know that Monrovia is a team that wants to establish a running game. That is their primary attack.
6.5 minutes to go in this first quarter. Second down, long to go, as Huff brings his team out over center. Again, looking at a single back formation with 2 wideouts on the left side, as quarterback Huff will hand off again to Pryor. Pryor, the 200-pound senior fullback, trying to work on the left side blocking. Corey Walden is there to make the hit. Gain of a short 1 that time for Pryor, and Monrovia will be faced with a long third down.
You can tell that North Montgomery is not concerned with Monrovia's ability to throw the ball. When they line up defensively, Jeff, all 11 defensive players are within 4 yards of the line of scrimmage.
32 degrees, 17 degrees if you include the wind chill. We get a weather report from John O back at the station. That'll keep Barry and Greg and the boys down the sidelines chilling just a little bit.
Barry waves to you.
Third down and 10 it goes. Barry waves so he's not frozen solid. Huff on the rollout, looks to throw, can't get it done, and there's going to be a sack. Tim Flagg's got the hit in the backfield. It'll be fourth down now for Monrovia, as North just pins their ears back on 3rd and long. They come after Huff, and as we saw last week, great line surge by the Chargers. Another sack.
The only disappointment here for John Roach will be that it wasn't Jack Whitecotton in on the tackle. After a 5-sack performance last week, that's the first sack of the night for the Chargers.
Officially, after they looked at the game films, Whitecotton was credited with 4 sacks last week, but he does have 8 for the season, as the Chargers, again, had a great defensive effort last week. We noted 38 yards rushing is all the Bulldogs could handle, and they'll kick the ball away. There's the high snap. The kick goes away. Back deep. McCormick will let it bounce at about his own 45-yard line, pick it up at his own 41. He's got a blocker around on the right side to midfield to the 45, and knocks out of bounds right in front of a space heater down here on the North Montgomery bench, as the North will have great field position, leading now 8-0. 32 yards on the kick. Good return by McCormick for about 12 or 14 yards, and the Chargers, Tom, will have good field position. 5 minutes to go exactly on the first quarter clock. The Chargers have an 8-0 lead.
So I guess the one thing that's positive for Monrovia is we've played 7 minutes, and North's only getting their hands on the ball for the second time. Unfortunately for the Bulldogs, they've left the Chargers only 44 yards from the end zone.
Now, as we've noted, it's a matter of getting off to a good start for North Montgomery, and you start taking a Monrovia team out of their offensive game plan, which, as Coach West told us during the week, was try and maintain control of the ball and keep the ball out of the hands of the North Montgomery offense. The Chargers set up 2 tight ends and a wide out to each side. Templeman is a single back behind Slicker. On the play action, Slicker rolls to his left, has some time, throwing deep, looking for McCormick. Will he get to the ball? No. At about the 10-yard line, a little bit of bump action down there on the far left sideline. Todd Huff, John, had good coverage that time on McCormick as BJ was looking deep.
That's right, excellent coverage that time by Huff. Made Jason go to the outside when the pass was actually coming back towards the inside of the ball field.
The 11th offensive play of the first quarter coming up for North Montgomery. They've run the ball 4 times, passed at 6. BJ Slicker on the ball game now, 3 out of a total of 5 for 32 yards.
And you have called Todd Huff's name almost every time defensively and offensively since he's the quarterback. Kid's going to be very tired by halftime.
Yes, he certainly certainly will. As Slicker holds an I formation behind him on 2nd down and 10. Again, moving from the Monrovia 45-yard line. Slicker rolls to his left side. Will he pitch? Now he does. Back deep it goes to Cervantes. Cervantes, though, will be stacked up after a gain of only a couple. He'll get down to about the 41 or 42 of Monrovia. Kai Kizzy and Andy Tower come up from linebacker and safety position. As a pickup of about 2 will make it 3rd down now and long for North Montgomery.
You know, that's one of those plays where BJ might be better off just to run the ball, Jeff, as opposed to pitching it back when he's already at the line of scrimmage where he knows he can get 3 or 4 yards instead of pitching it back behind the line back to Manny. As it is, it'll set up 3rd down and 8 for the Chargers.
As we quickly run that clock down here in this first quarter, 4.5 minutes, and it's still rolling down, but the Chargers have it and the lead by 8 as we noted. 1 for 1 on 3rd down conversion attempts are the Chargers. Calder comes in motion going to the far side of the field. Slicker on the reverse. Gives it off to McCormick. He scored in the first playoff game. He won't do it today, though, as he can't pick up a block. He is swarmed under at about the 45-yard line. Troy Sassy has the defensive end position covered. The 200-pound senior really held his position, and the Chargers lose 4.
That's going to be a loss of 4, and very well read by the Monrovia defense that they strung that out. They forced McCormick to keep trying to get to the corner, couldn't find it, and was able to get him for the 4-yard loss.
Slicker, who has done the punting action for North all year, drops back into short kicking formation. He stands at his own 47. We have seen the Chargers fake it just enough times through the course of the year. Slicker, though, will put a right foot into it. One-step kick, kicks down towards about the 15-yard line, and it is fielded and grabbed by Kai Kizzy. 3.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Monrovia will put the ball back in action, and Tom, not a very good field position after the 31-yard kick by Slicker, and the Bulldogs, though, did hold defensively, which has got to be a good moral victory for them after the first series of downs.
Oh, yeah, you talk about, they're down 8-0, but after giving North good field position, North was unable to take advantage of it, couldn't pick up the first down, but Monrovia is a long way. He's going to start for their own 15-yard line.
As Huff will bring his offense out 1st down and 10. We now see an I formation. We did not see in the first series of plays. Pryor and DeWeese. Here comes the blitz. The ball is loose. It's down on the ground at about the 8-yard line. There's a big pile up, and Flag says it's North Montgomery's the referee, though, whose vote counts much more than Flag says he'll belong to Monrovia.
I really think that they thought Jason Gwynn had popped on that ball from North Montgomery, but it looks like Monrovia was able to get back on it, but they put themselves from the frying pan into the fire as they are going to be back on their own 7.
Jason Gwynn did an excellent job that time once the ball was on the ground, and Kevin Templeman, I believe, was the one that put the ball on the quarterback trying to get him away from it. Just wasn't far enough.
Loss of 8 on that play as the center exchange just never happened very well, but as we noted, we saw backers coming, and North Montgomery, who has as many linebackers as Atlanta's got pitching, now faces Monrovia with a long play coming up. Huff on the ball. Here's now a fumble. The ball's in the end zone, and North Montgomery has a touchdown. The defense has scored again. The touchdown is Jason Brown. The 175-pound senior falls on the loose ball. Tom, 2 plays in a row. North has just thrown caution to it. They're blitzing 3 and 4 guys. Monrovia can't get the job done. They can't handle the ball, and the Chargers now have scored on D.
North Montgomery go back a week ago against Speedway, Jeff, when they had Speedway in good field position and marched them back on 4 straight plays, and that drive for Speedway culminated in a defensive touchdown by Mike Gerald. This time, it's Jason Brown who falls on a fumble in the end zone. 14-0 Chargers, 2:34 left to go.
Here's the stat for you, Tom. 5 carries, minus 21 yards rushing right now from Monrovia's offense. 2.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Slicker sets up an offense for the extra point attempt. He's got 2 backs behind him. He rolls out to his right. Still rolling. Now throws into the end zone, and the conversion attempt is good. The catch is Jason McCormick. The Chargers with 2.5 minutes to go as the late flag comes down.
I can tell you, it's going to be on Jason McCormick. When he scored, he took the ball and flipped it right into the face of the defender from Monrovia. Flag 15 yards on sportsmanlike conduct. They'll mark it off on the kickoff.
On the kickoff, but the Chargers will still hold a 16-0 lead, and the Chargers will be kicking off when you come back.
Larry Cummings, Gold's GMC Aurora, is bringing back one of its most successful model closeout events in its 19 years of business.
Not sure who stripped the ball loose from Monrovia quarterback Todd Huff, and we'll get that report again from Greg down on the sidelines, but most importantly, Templeman will be kicking off quite a bit deeper than before, Tom, but still, the Chargers lead by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, kicking off from their own 25.
As Templeman puts the right toe into it, there's a low end-over-end kick that's picked up at the 30-yard line and then muffed It's a Tool. Has it. Starts left. Works right. Has a couple of blocks. Gets around the 35. Now to the 40 to the 45-yard line. And Monrovia will have good offensive position on the good return as Jack Whitecotton has the tackle 15 yards on the kickoff return. But again, Monrovia has at least some room to work for the first time tonight.
Yeah, they really do. After muffing the kickoff returning, escaping Mike Geralds as he got down the field very quickly for North Montgomery on the kick team, they're going to start out with the ball at about their own 47-yard line, the 46-yard line, depending where they're going to spot this down. It'll be first down. Monrovia with its best field position to start a drive tonight.
Huff will be over center. First down and 10, 46 as Tom noted as we go down to the 2-minute mark of this first quarter. The Chargers up by 2 touchdowns. Offense has one, the defense has one. I formation set up behind Huff on the handoff. Looks to the fake, now rolls to his right as quarterback Huff rolls to off the right side blocking. B.J. Slicker comes up from a linebacker position, however, and makes the tackle after a gain of 4, maybe 5, as Monrovia gets into North Montgomery territory for the first time tonight.
Yeah, just give an excellent job to the quarterback Huff, who did a good job of faking the handoff and then taking it around just off tackle, got himself 5 yards, and that's about the first time they've gone for positive yardage at any point tonight.
Well, as we noted at the end of the fumble, that Monrovia had minus 21 yards of rushing, so obviously a pickup of 5 makes it still a negative number for the Bulldogs. Second down and 5 coming up. Here's the wide pitch coming out to DeWeese. He's got some room on the left side to the 50 to 45 to the 40-yard line. Jason McCormick has to come up from a cornerback position, but a good play developing, good line blocking by Andy Danielson and Greg Taylor, the 200-pound senior left tackle and left guard. Pickup of 10 yards in the first down down of the night for Monrovia. And Tom, what's one thing we didn't note, if you say senior on that Monrovia offense, you're right 10 times out of 11. Kai Kizzy is the only non-senior starter on the offense. Now an I formation will be set up as Monrovia is still looking to get into positive yardage. They now stand at -6 for the ball game, running the ball. They have not yet thrown. Here's a quarterback keeper on the fake. This is going to be Huff. He's got some room. He's across the original line of scrimmage down to the 30, down to the 25-yard line. Good quick fake and a first down.
And that's that real good hard fake that you see BJ do a lot of times, where it's just a very exaggerated hard fake on the toss sweep and then just turn the ball back around on the quarterback keeper and go right up the middle. And we've seen BJ do it now for 4 years. Huff runs that play very well. Another first down, second consecutive first down on back-to-back plays for Monrovia.
Pickup of 13 yards. Huff reminds me, a little bit of some of the Sagamore Conference quarterbacks that we've seen who have pretty quick feet, move the ball real well up the middle of the field. So on first down, out of the Charger 26-yard line, here's Huff, gives it off on the right side. It'll go to Pryor. Pryor will pick up a couple of yards as he works around the right end, down to about the 20-yard line. So it'll be a pickup finally of about 6 yards. Gwen had the tackle on the last play. Kevin Templeman has this one, as again we note the Chargers linebackers make so many of the plays as Monrovia now, as we noted, gets into positive yards rushing the ball.
And this is one of those problems that North Montgomery has, Jeff, is when they jump out to these early leads, they soften up their defense immediately. And when that happens, they allow big gainers. It looks like Monrovia is going to be happy to let the clock run out and end the first quarter down 16-0.
Both teams have played pretty much on the ground. North Montgomery has aired it out a couple of times, but the Chargers have scored twice. The offense has one. The defense has one. At the end of the first quarter, Monrovia with the ball, threatening for the first time tonight. Senior quarterback Todd Huff brings his squad up. He has an I formation set up behind him. He pitches the ball to DeWeese. DeWeese works right side. He'll be drug out of bounds as he crosses the 20-yard line down to about the 18-yard line. Templeman and John Sparks in on the tackle.
Yeah, good linebacker surge over to get to the ball. Jeff, real quickly between plays, first quarter stats. First for Monrovia, 9 carries, 13 yards. They did not attempt a pass, 13 total yards, 2 first downs. For North Montgomery, 7 carries, 27 yards. BJ, 3 of 5 for 32 yards, 59 total yards for the Chargers, 4 first downs. Time of possession, 6:06 for North, 5:54 for Monrovia, but more importantly, North leads 16-zip.
Monrovia trying to convert on third down for the second time tonight. They're 0 for 1 thus far, as again they set up an I formation, running formation, looks like, as they've run tonight pretty much exclusively. Huff back to throw. He'll get nowhere fast, but he's run down from behind. Jack Whitecotton has the sack. Second sack for Whitecotton, and my goodness, but the North front line defensively is really getting by Monrovia's front offensive line.
Yeah, after giving up those big plays for the front four for North Montgomery, the first few plays here from Monrovia in this drive, they have really, with their back up to the wall, they've really stepped up. And Jack Whitecotton, who just has that great body for a defensive end, Jeff, that he's so quick that he can get past a lot of these big offensive tackles, and that's exactly what he's done.
The 10th sack of the season for the 175-pound junior defensive end, and it's fourth down now now. About 10 to go after the loss of 8, as Monrovia has no choice but to go for it here. Huff rolls back, throws out on the flat. He's got a man open on the left side, but he'll be well short of a first down. 3 North Montgomery defensive players over there to wrap up. We're just going to wait and see who's got. We know we got Ratcliffe as one of the tacklers. We also see Flag coming in on it. Ryan Toole is the last guy up off the bottom of the stack. John, 5 yards, but that's only half of what the Bulldogs needed.
That's right. Good job by North Montgomery laying off just a little bit, let them catch the ball, and then everybody attacking. That's exactly what they did.
North Montgomery goes back. Pretty decent field position out to about the 22-yard line, Jeff. Nice long sustained drive here with a touchdown on the board will be just what the doctor ordered.
Actually, we'll spot the ball back just 1 more yard for Mr. Harris, our statistician. Also, we want to remind everybody we'll get reports from not only Greg Simpson down on the sideline, but we got Harvey Keller over calling in reports tonight from Chatard Cecina as Cervantes carries on first down. We want to let everybody know that the reason we're bringing you the reports from that ball game is that not if but when, as we were told to keep things positive tonight, but when North Montgomery wins tonight, they would play the winner of the Chatard Cecina ball game as Cervantes picks up 3.
The game's being played at Warren Central, I believe, and I sure hope Harvey knows how to get to the far east side of Indianapolis.
Well, I asked him if he knew where, and he said he knew how to get there. Joe Kimmel has the tackle from the nose tackle position for Monrovia, and it'll be second down now for Slicker and the North Montgomery offense. Splitting out wide the left side, Ratcliffe and Templeman. There's a new twist on the formation. On the handoff, misdirection. It goes to Cervantes. Cervantes crosses the 25, gets out to about the 30-yard line. Jerry Dotson, outside linebacker, who is the leading tackler for Monrovia on the season, averaging about 9 solo tackles a ball game. Stops Cervantes, but not before the 155-pound junior tailback picks up 5.
Jeff, Manny has done such an excellent job as he's progressed through the last couple of years. In these situations where he knows they're going to try and strip the ball away from him, as he knows he goes into traffic, he puts both arms around the ball and covers it up to not turn the ball over.
Chargers 1 for 2 on third down tonight. John says it's going to be BJ up the middle on a quarterback sneak. We'll see what happens. As McCormick splits out wide to the left side on third down, we'll call it about a 2-yard to go scenario. Here's the handoff. Templeman has it. Legs driving. Legs still driving. He breaks the tackle. He's got the first down. He's out to the 36-yard line. Kai Kizzy's got the tackle, but what a great driving run by Templeman. It would have been close on the first spot if he'd have been stopped at that initial contact point down. No question about it now. He's got 6 and a first down.
That's right. You know, he probably was going to be stopped for a 1 or 2 yard gain with the initial drive. He had his back turned to the line to the defense, and just that leg drive spun off of that, was able to fall forward. Just great individual effort by the fullback, and it gets to North Montgomery another first down out to the 36.
Well, Sean Ratcliffe brings the play in for North, as coming off his spare tight end John Sparks. Templeman 4 carries, 25 yards, as we've noted, averaging 6 yards a carry on the season, as BJ comes up to the line of scrimmage.
And Good Sports from Good Sports at the Sportsman Shop, 126 East Main Street, downtown Crawfordsville. Remember, these high school football broadcasts are made possible by sponsoring businesses. Be sure you stop by and tell them you appreciate their support.
Back for action. After the timeout, Slicker throws out on the flat, on the right side flat, looking for Sean Ratcliffe. Ratcliffe, though, I think Tom did a down and out instead of a down and up. Dan Rose had pretty good coverage on the play, and the pass goes incomplete.
After that incompletion, BJ now 3 out of 6, 32 yards, and I think you're right. Just a miscommunication, and as we've seen almost all season long, when that happens, it doesn't happen more than once, because BJ is very good at talking to his receivers and making sure they know exactly what play they're supposed to be running, and you do not see, I mean, that's the one thing you talk about maturity, that going from when he was younger he would yell, now he talks to his receivers, and they figure it out, and they don't run those plays wrong more than once.
It's a different story. When you're a senior quarterback, you get to yell at your guys, and they call it leadership. When you're a freshman quarterback and you yell at your guys, they call it something else. On second down and 10, the handoff goes to Cervantes. Cervantes will pick up about 3 yards. We'll call it maybe only 2 after the spot, as Sassy has the tackle.
North Montgomery now 11 carries, Jeff, 44 yards on the night. Kevin Templeman, 4 carries, 25 to lead the way.
I can only hope that our good friend Pete Sillins is listening to this ball game, because that's got to be one of his most favorite players of all time in high school football, Troy Sassy. Third down, about 9 to go, as the spot went back even farther than we thought. Slicker has it, 1 for 3 on third down. Conversions are the Chargers. He's got more wide receivers than they can cover out there. There's a man open. Guess who? Calder's got it. Here's a break. Calder's got a block downfield. He's down to the 30-yard line of Monrovia before he's hauled down from behind. McCormick was leading interference, but Calder, I think, just ran out of gas at about the 30-yard line of Monrovia. As I said, too many receivers out of the pattern for Monrovia to cover. 50 yards on the coverage.
And I tell you what, Clint Calder does such an excellent job. The senior wide receiver, he gets down that seam, and he and Jason have so much after reception speed, breakaway speed, and they also do a great job of angling themselves away from the defense and forcing the defense to overplay them. When you got someone like McCormick out front blocking for you, great play for North.
Wes Smith has the tackle, but now before it's 50 yards and a first down now for North Montgomery. First down and 10 at the Monrovia 29-yard line, and now a whistle and a timeout on the field. And the Chargers call their still very interested in that score as it goes on. Here in the second quarter, 7:48 to go here in the second quarter. North Montgomery's got a couple of touchdowns. The offense has one, the defense has one, as the Chargers have it. Here's a handoff as Flicker, after the timeout, calls on Kevin Templeman. Templeman will block it right up the middle. He'll try to go behind center. Brian Brown, Jerry Dotson, and Greg Taylor have the stock, and it'll be only about a 2-yard gain for North.
And that was just a little bit of a confusion in the backfield between BJ and Kevin Templeman, as Kevin was actually in front of BJ before he ever tried to hand the ball off. BJ seemed to fumble the ball as he came away from center.
Stick it in his back pocket if he had one there. It'll be second down. Call it about a long 8 to go. I formation set up behind Slicker. Wideouts one to each side. There is Calder to the left after the big play on his last possession. BJ on the misdirection, hands off. He's still got it, rolls out. He breaks the tackle to the 25, down close to the 20-yard line. He'll not get to the sticks for a first down, however, as he is smothered at about the 22-yard line. Really good misdirection and good fake play as the Slicker keeps the ball. We've seen it enough times now, Tom. We can start looking. Don't wait. Don't look for ball carriers. Wait to see if BJ stops moving, because if he doesn't, he's generally still got the ball.
That's right, and I tell you what, excellent coverage, or excellent pressure by Sassy there to really do a good job of forcing BJ to rush the ball.
4 yards on that carry. It'll be third down now and about 4 to go for Slicker. One back formation set up as the Chargers are 1 for 4 on third down. Here's a swing pass out on the right side and unable to keep a hand on it. Sean Ratcliffe. John, that thing just had too much mustard on it. It went right between Ratcliffe's hands.
That's right, a perfect play. North Montgomery's ran it 2 or 3 times earlier in the ball game, picked up some good yardage. This time BJ just threw it a little bit too hard for Sean Ratcliffe.
BJ now 4 out of 8 passing, 82 yards, and obviously this is fourth down and short. North Montgomery will go for it.
As Ratcliffe will come off, also second tight end John Sparks comes off as Ratcliffe comes back into the ball game. Again, the Chargers here on fourth down looking for a fourth down and 4 to go. They are 1 for 1 on fourth down conversion attempts, and now we got a whistle.
We got an official's timeout equipment problem on Monrovia.
All right, so they got to get a new player in the ball game, and we see him for the first time, and that is Scott Selke. As now, BJ thought that Monrovia had called timeout, so now quickly the Chargers rearrange in a quick huddle 6 yards back and come back up to the line of scrimmage. The play clock, though, plenty of time, 10 seconds and counting down. Again, it's fourth down and 4. Slicker, hands off. Cervantes has the first down, but we've got flags on the play, and a procedure call, Tom, will be coming up against the Chargers as they got into a big hurry because of the confusion, and nobody got set.
Yeah, no one got set. You have to be set for that full second. BJ had plenty of time. There were still 7 or 8 seconds left on the play clock. He had time to set them. He just didn't want to burn that third time out. And so they're going to push him back 5 yards further, and they'll have just 4th and 9 now.
Second penalty for the Chargers. Of course, they had the unsportsmanlike conduct call at the end of their last touchdown play, and 4th down and 9 for the Chargers is really not that big a deal when you consider the passing attack, as Gwynn breaks out wide to the right side, also Calder wide to the right side, one back set up behind Slicker. Here on the left side, this is Ratcliffe. Slicker back to throw on 4th down, throws up into the middle of the screen and looking for Gwynn in the middle of the field, can't get the ball to him. Gwynn had run through his route already. BJ was flushed out of the pocket. Kizzy had coverage, but pretty good pressure on Slicker that time. He stepped up and had to throw off the wrong foot and didn't have enough on the ball.
Yeah, I think he saw that wide open spot to the right of Jason Gwynn. Gwynn continued up the seam, and I think BJ expected Gwynn to slide out into that slot on the right side. He just did not, and that's where BJ threw the ball.
So the Chargers turn the ball overs on down. 6:04 to go in the second quarter. The Chargers do lead, though, here by 2 touchdowns. It's 16-0. Tight formation set up here for Monrovia. Huff over center, I formation behind him. On the handoff, Pryor has it. He'll smash up the middle. He'll be hauled down after a gain of 3 or 4. Kevin Templeman is there. Also, Corey Walden is there. Several other blue shirts come up off the stack, but those are the principal hitters, as 5 yards is picked up by Pryor. It'll be second down and 5 for the Bulldogs.
BJ reached in there trying to strip the ball away from the ball carrier. He needs to watch a little bit. He probably needs to be worried about tackling the player and letting the defense work as opposed to trying to make the big play.
Well, on the series that the North defense scored, as Pryor is 3 for 10 yards rushing on the ball game, that on a previous series, the North defense got the ball on the ground twice by Monrovia, so you know that as the game gets gets colder, they will look to do that. On misdirection, here is DeWeese. DeWeese gets out across the 35-yard line out to about the 36-yard line, maybe the 37. John Sparks has the big hit. John Roach, though, says it's going to be short, and it'll be third down and about a yard to go coming up for Monrovia.
I tell you what, Jeff, Monrovia has done a pretty good job of moving the ball on the ground. As much as North is keyed on that all night long, they've gotten good up-front blocking and picked up 3 or 4 yards at a clip.
The Bulldogs, who have averaged 231 yards rushing a game and 85 yards passing a game coming into this contest, now have an 0 for 2 third down conversion effort on their behalf, and they will call timeout. We've got 4:56 to go in the first half. The Chargers again leading here in sectional championship action, 16-0.
Catch this, construction crews. When you have a construction equipment problem, check into renting your construction equipment from you.
Developing new products, working with customers, and working hard to add value to what farmers produce. Cargill Incorporated's goal is to earn each customer's repeat business for Cargill and for the U.S. producer. Cargill Incorporated in Linden.
It'll be Pryor on the short third down call. He'll pick up the first down as we get back to action here at North Montgomery. A quickly run timeout that time. Pickup of 2 yards, but most importantly, the sticks will move. As we want to let our roving reporter, Greg Simpson, down in the field know that the guys at the station are trying to call you there, Greg, so you may want to put that phone up close to your ear and take a listen.
Right now, after that last carry, Monrovia now 14 carries, 18 yards, giving him 22 total yards with the 4 yards passing on the night.
As on first down and 10 from the 39-yard line of Monrovia, the Bulldogs run a very close set as they'll send Toole now in motion to the far side. Huff over center, I formation. Here's the pitch back to DeWeese. DeWeese around the left side. Picks up a yard at the very most, but he may be drugged back as, again, Jack Whitecott and Kevin Templeman are there. Brent says no gain. Tom says no gain. Good surge as it looked like DeWeese was going to get some room. He got outside quickly and looked to cut up, and then all of a sudden the holes got filled.
Yeah, North Montgomery did a good job of getting some pressure from the backside. And it really looked like DeWeese was going to get caught from behind and maybe get out for a 1 yard loss. He did a very good job of getting himself back to the line of scrimmage.
We're down to the 4-minute mark of this first half. Again, it's amazing how fast the clock sometimes moves when you keep the ball on the ground, as both teams have done. North a little bit more effective, though. They've got 1 touchdown, and again, the defense has scored 1. DeWeese on second down and 10. Pulls the handoff from Huff, moves up the middle of the field, picks up about 5 yards. Gerald has the tackle for North Montgomery, and it'll be third down and 5 to go now. A very long 5, looking at the sticks on the far side of the field, as the Bulldogs are 1 of 3 on third down conversions.
And this is the kind of place that North Montgomery wanted to put Monrovia's offense in. Third and 5 or longer, forcing them to possibly have to throw the ball or do some sort of outside running play. North is fast enough they can string those plays out.
The ball is spotted on the 44-yard line. The Bulldogs got to get to their own 49-yard line for a first down. Huff over center, I formation, 2 wides to this left side. The handoff goes to Pryor. Pryor breaks 1 tackle, gets a look at the sticks, but will not get to it as Kevin Templeman is there. And what a good wrap-up tackle. Templeman was right there. Gerald's there to help also push him back. It'll be a gain of only 3, and it'll be fourth down in decision time for Coach West.
And it looks like they're going to keep their offense on the field down 16-0, 2:52 and counting left to go. Also give Jason Gwynn some credit for coming in after Kevin Templeman wrapped up to make the stop and not allow the running back to fall forward for a first down.
Monrovia has failed in their only fourth down conversion attempt of the ball game thus far, and you heard Coach German talk about the good effect of moving Gwynn back to a linebacker position about 3 weeks ago. As now getting down close to the end of the play clock, Huff will have to call timeout. He did not have enough time to get the play away and calls timeout number 2. So both teams now have called 2 timeouts, but we're getting close to the end of the first half.
New furniture or any good reason, see Personal Finance now at 1307 Darlington Avenue next to Subway. Buy your Allstate insurance agent, Martin Rule. Call 362-2044 or stop by the office at 111 East Wabash Avenue. Martin Rule wants to be your agent for life. Remember, you're in good hands with Allstate. High school football on WIMC, WCVL.
Well, again, after a very quick timeout on fourth down, Pryor with the carry, works the right side. The ball is stripped loose, and John, the Chargers have it again.
That's right. Fourth down, they come up with a big defensive play, strip the ball from Pryor, and number 50, Jason Brown, comes up with the fumble recovery in Monrovia territory.
That's the second time that the second time they've lost a fumble, second time Jason Brown's been the man on the spot. 1 for a touchdown, now 1 gives North great field position.
And that ends a 7-play, about 20-yard drive, which took over 3.5 minutes, as now the Chargers Chargers have it with a little time left on the clock. Here's a quick swing pass out to the right side. Calder's got a block. Out to the right side, the 30, the 25, the 20. Chased out of bounds inside the 20-yard line. Kai Kinsey, the last guy for Monrovia. Otherwise, the Chargers would have had 6.
I tell you what, Clint Calder got an advantage in that he kind of bobbled that ball and had to set himself when he caught it. And when that happened, the Monrovia defensive back went by him and opened up a seam. Clint Calder took one step to the inside, then broke outside, went down the sideline. And North now with all the time in the world, 2 minutes and 1 timeout from their own 17.
He broke to the outside for 29 yards, and the Chargers have it inside the red zone on first down, working out of the spread formation. Slicker zeroes in, looking for Jason Gwynn. The ball tipped at the line of scrimmage, and the pass will fall to the turf incomplete. In probably the wettest spot on the field. Mike Roach, Greg Taylor there with their hands up at the line of scrimmage, tipped the ball away. As we noted, the footing is not the best at that particular spot down inside the 20, down on that south end of the field. Yesterday, according to Coach Slicker, that whole part of the field was underwater.
I was going to say, it's rained all week down here, and they've had practice pretty much every day this week. They've had to move inside or cancel or bring practice a little bit quick into the locker room because of rain.
The ball spotted at the 18-yard line of Monrovia. Slicker working out of the spread formation, and we'll have to call timeout as the play clock is running down to 3 and 2 seconds. And so the last timeout of the first half allowed for North. Remember, an interception last year and a fumble against Owen Valley.
Oh, they'll remember that, as long as North Montgomery's football history has lived, because that was one of the big plays of the ball game.
As Monrovia fans, I'm sure, will remember fumbles into the end zone, fumbles at midfield. If this game turns against them, if they lose the sectional championship game, turnovers in the championship ball game make such a critical part of the game.
Luckily for North Montgomery, their high-powered offense tonight, Jeff, there is no precipitation. They didn't have the rain like they had last year. Right now, Clint Calder, Jeff, leading receiver for North Montgomery, 3 catches, 83 yards. BJ now 5 of 10, 106 yards.
Almost a 30-yard average for Calder. We had a penalty flag, is why we haven't run a play as of yet, as Monrovia was offside, so it's 2nd down and 5. Here's Slicker, wide pitch, left side, Templeman. Oh, look at the blockers, look at the room, the 5, inside the 5, touchdown. Flags are down. Let's check the call. Maybe a holding call against North Montgomery. 13 yards is the run. Templeman had all kinds of blockers, all kinds of room, but we may call this one back. And the illegal block is the call against North Montgomery, and 6 points come off the board.
Yeah, North Montgomery, I'm not even sure who the player was. It's not important. Got up out front, and just when he went to make the block to make sure Kevin could get through, he just kind of did this little arm-grabbing thing over on the shoulder, and that's a penalty. It's a good call by the officials. It'll mark things back. 1:49 left to go. Still plenty of time for North Montgomery, but they'll be back to about the 20-yard line.
As any offensive lineman will tell you, you can't, when the officials can see your hands pushing out forward, that's generally when you're going to get that illegal block call, and it could have been on the shoulders, it could have been even in the back, but as it is, the 5-yard penalty will take away points from North Montgomery, but with 1:49 to go here in the first half, it basically sets up 2nd down and 10.
That's right. Essentially, it's a 5-yard net penalty because it's 10 yards from the spot of the foul.
That's right. I'm sorry, on the mark-off. So BJ's got it 2nd down now. We'll call it about 10 yards to go. Ball's back on the 18-yard line. Takes the snap, rolls out. Here comes the pressure. Throws it out on the flat. Oh, Templeman's going to get the 6 anyway on the pass. Oh, what a play. Wide open, 18 yards. Templeman, he could have run all the way to Newmarket, I think. He was so open. Works around the right side, and Kevin Templeman grabs yet another B.J. Slicker touchdown pass for Kevin. That is his 2nd touchdown receiving on the year.
Yeah, B.J. now 6 out of 11 passing, 124 yards, and the touchdown.
As we know, that Templeman on his 13th catch of the year, he ran for the touchdown just minutes ago. The play came back on a penalty, so Slicker throws him the ball on the flat on the right side, and he runs escorted and untouched into the end zone. As North, with 1.5 minutes to go in the first half, leads now 22-0. Here comes the conversion attempt. Slicker over center, rolls left, pitches left. Cervantes has it, goes for the end zone. He's got it, untouched. A great block out on the left side. Get the number out there. What an awesome block by Brian Brown and Sean Ratcliffe. Tom, what a great series of plays there as North Montgomery takes it off, recovers the loose ball, moves down the field, and before the end of the half may have driven the stake into the heart of Monrovia.
Yeah, this time after the turnover, North Montgomery goes 42 yards in 5 plays, takes 53 seconds, the big play. After the 5-yard mark-off, or after the 10-yard mark-off on the penalty, it's the pass to North Montgomery fullback. Thank you, Kevin Templeman. I was starting to say that Manny Cervantes is one of those guys I want on my fantasy team, Jeff. John, because we joke about that from week to week, but Manny's already put 10 of these 24 points on the board for the Chargers.
That's right. Manny's done an excellent job since the beginning of the year where he was fumbling the ball a lot. This, in the last couple of ball games that we've seen him, he's had two hands around the ball, did an excellent job running the ball, and almost every time on the two-point conversion, that's who they're going to go to.
I tell you what, they're looking really good, Jeff, and just shades of last week. Now is when you see that defense, because Monrovia's getting, although they don't want to, they're going to be forced to pass to try to get themselves back in this game, and that's when you saw Jack Whitecott and Mike Geralds just step it up, and those linebacking cores pin their ears back and go for the quarterback.
Well, as we said, there are so many, just so many North Montgomery linebackers. You put a bunch of them out there and then just send them forward. They're eventually going to come up with some good plays. As Geralds kicks off, short is the kick, 20-yard line is grabbed by Toole. Toole gets one block. He crosses the 30. He's out to about the 36 or 37-yard line. Jason Brown has the tackle. Also flagged there as we call their numbers defensively so many times after the 18-yard return.
Good kick. I like that kick for North Montgomery. You don't have somebody who has the ability to kick it long, kick it short, kick it very high, allow your coverage team down there shorten up the return, and you should give the ball back in no worse than the 30, 35-yard line, and with this defense, that's a long way for a team to have to go.
The ball will be spotted at the 37-yard line of Monrovia. They are down 24-0 here. Minute and 22 seconds remain until halftime. Will Coach Scott West tuck it in and just say, let's get up to the locker room, get warmed up, and regroup. As back to throw is Huff. The ball tipped at the line of scrimmage as the pass was tipped initially by Jason Brown. Brown got a big set of mitts up there, knocked it loose, and the ball was up in the air long enough that there were a couple of blue shirts over there looking to grab it.
I tell you what, Jason Brown must have been happy with what he saw Jack Whitecotton do last week, decided he wants to be the big man defensively now for North Montgomery, as he now has 2 fumble recoveries and a couple batted balls.
Huff only 1 of 2 passing on the ball game for a total of 4 yards. It'll now be second down and 10 to go as the clock stops with 1:02 after the incompletion. Huff rolls left side, hands off on the delay draw. It's going to be DeWeese, and DeWeese is just going to be smothered. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 North Montgomery players. Flag comes up off the stack. Brown comes up off the stack. Templeman, others up off the stack, and we got a North Montgomery player a little slow getting up off the bottom of the stack. Templeman is the player who is still down with 47 seconds to go.
It's not a North Montgomery game if Kevin Templeman does not get some sort of cramp. He's just ran into each other on the backfield. Huff went for the inside handoff, and they just got too close. Their spacing was bad, and by the time they regrouped, as you mentioned, there were 5 Chargers standing there waiting to grab.
And you look at the beginning of the season, the first games of the season against Sheridan South and Frankfort, the Chargers gave up 14 points to Sheridan, 28 points to South, 18 points to Frankfort in that 20-18 win, and then 21 points to Lebanon. But only one of the 3 touchdowns by Lebanon was actually scored in the first 3 quarters, and from that point on, it was pretty good defense being played by North Montgomery. I know that Northview got 26 points in the season finale, and Delphi got 28 in the playoffs, but all of those points came very, very late after the game had been well settled. Templeman limps off the field with a little bit of an escort as it'll be third down and 15. Here's Huff, breaks 1 tackle to the 40-yard line, scoots out to about the 42-yard line. He'll pick up about half the yards that he needs. Geralds has a tackle, and as we get down under 30 seconds to play after the gain of 10, Monrovia can opt to play one more time on the 4th down, but we may just see him run the clock out here.
Yeah, that escort coming off the field with Coach Charlie German, and now you'll see Kevin Templeman head down to the locker room a few seconds earlier ahead of the rest of the team. That long walk up, and I tell you what, if it's any type of injury whatsoever, I wouldn't be surprised if you just do not see Kevin Templeman the remainder of this game. Up 24-0, there's not much reason to play him.
Clock runs down the last couple seconds here, the first half of play, and there we hear the buzzer to end the first half. The North Montgomery Chargers have scored 3 times. The defense has 1, the offense has 2. They've scored in a variety of ways. They've run 1 in, they've thrown 1 in, and recovered a fumble. Score 24-0. And we'll be back with halftime scoring stats and all the other things that go along with it.
And it'll be the senior day, of course, and also it'll be the last home game. Let's see here. Let's try to get this straight as they're going to start building on the old Notre Dame Stadium, so it'll be the last game played.
And just quickly tonight, the kickoff of the tip-off of the NBA season. With 4 minutes left to go in the first half, the Pacers lead down in Atlanta 48-43.
One last college football note. We want to remind everybody that next week, the Monon Bell football game will be broadcast live on 1550 WCVL. We will be preempting Purdue's coverage on WCVL. But I'll tell you what, with all of the things going on and the allegations and the things that have happened and the suspensions right now, if I were a betting man, I'd say that the Dannies are in big trouble.
And there are a couple of guys at DePauw that I hear are pretty good betting men.
North Montgomery will kick off to start the second half of play. Here's a short short kick. Toole grabs it at about his own 20-yard line, brings it up to about the 25 or 26. Actually, they'll cross the 25, and after a short return of about 5 yards or so, the Bulldogs will have it first down and 10.
I tell you what, because of the way North Montgomery kicks that ball off, I don't know if it's the height or with the rotation on the ball. Monrovia has had trouble getting that ball, bringing it in, which helps the North coverage team this time. First down at the 28.
145-pound senior Patrick McDonald has special teams coverage on that particular play, and the Bulldogs have it first down and 10. We'll call it from the 28-yard line, again, just underway. If you're just joining us here on WIMC FM, the Chargers lead at halftime 24-0. Here's a wide pitch to Sam DeWeese. The tailback breaks around the left side, breaks a tackle, breaks two. He's out near midfield, and he's hauled down from behind at the North Montgomery 49-yard line. B.J. Slicker has the tackle, but not until DeWeese has a big gain of about 24 yards and probably the best overall offensive play by Monrovia tonight.
Yeah, he's going to get the ball just past midfield, and I tell you what, Jason Gwynn looked like he was going to get him from behind in the backfield. DeWeese did a good job of using natural speed to get past Jason Gwynn, turn the corner, and get all the way out to the 50.
It was well about into the second quarter before Monrovia finally got out of negative yards rushing after losing a couple of fumbles and eventually giving up a touchdown by the offense. They now go from first and 10. Here's a pass. It's a lateral back to Toole. Toole breaks a tackle to the 40 to 35 and the 30-yard line of North Montgomery. It'll be Sean Ratcliffe on the wrestle out of bounds, but on that short lateral to wide receiver Toole, he just used some good speed and, again, just poor tackling in that particular instance. A broken tackle of one or two times, and 19 yards later, Monrovia is now in pretty good position. They'll set up first and 10 at the North 31.
Yeah, Jeff, North has started to try and arm tackle and tackle in the upper body, and they need to go back to those good leg tackles, and that's why they're giving up the big plays.
So, in two quick plays, the Bulldogs move deep into North Montgomery territory, although they are scoreless on the night. I formation set up behind Huff. Huff back to throw, rolls to his left, flushed out of the pocket. He's got to get rid of it. Now he can't get rid of it. He's going to be hauled down from behind, a big sack by Flagg. So, Tim Flagg just literally comes from the opposite side on the blitz, Tom. He had to run about 35 yards in that particular play, loss of 9, and the momentum that Monrovia had offensively is stifled.
I tell you what, North Montgomery does an excellent job of stepping up to make the big defensive play when it looks like they're back on their heels. They did it back in the first quarter in this game. They did it last week in the game against Speedway, and I really wish Tim Flagg would pick one jersey number and stick with it.
Third sack of the ball game for Flagg. It's either 24 or 51. You just kind of get used to it. Notice I even put it on the two deep set. It's either or. He caught us flat-footed last week against Speedway. After the loss of 9, Huff fakes the throw, runs on the delayed quarterback draw right up the middle, and John gives me a 5-player tackle on that. We'll call it the front line and a couple of linebackers for North. Stop Huff after a gain of about 3.
Yeah, it looked very much like Todd Huff wanted to throw that ball, and right when he went to pump his arms, the North defensive backs all jumped straight up. They had no one open. He knew he was going to be possibly throwing an interception. He did a good job of just bringing the ball back in and trying to pick up a yard or two on his own.
Shuffling plays in and out. Brandon Willett, the sophomore, had been used as a decoy once or twice. He goes off the field now as Monrovia looks at a third down and long. Called about 17 to go. 1-for-9 now are on third down conversions is Monrovia. Huff is going to roll backwards. He's going to be sacked. And I'll even let this guy say who's got the sack.
Well, it was naturally Jack Whitecotton.
His 11th sack of the season, his third sack tonight. That gives him 7 sacks in 2 playoff games.
Not bad play there by Jack Whitecotton. And I tell you what, no one has got to be happier than the defensive coaching staff for North Montgomery. And once again, for about the third time in the last 3 weeks, we've seen North set up a team in 4th and more than 20 yards.
Jack's mom was pretty happy about last week's play. I know that. Loss of 10, and Monrovia will kick the ball away. Back deep for North is McCormick on the far side of the field. Here's a quick kick. Lobs up about 25 yards downfield, and then gets a big Monrovia bounce. Down to the 15, down nearly the 10-yard line. The ball will be rolled dead and placed dead at about the 11 or 12-yard line with 8:49 to go. 39-yard punt for Monrovia, and it'll be North ball when you come back right after this message.
I don't understand what's wrong with my vehicle. Carburetor don't carb, generator don't gen, and the pistons don't work either.
When you've got vehicle problems, even if you don't know the cause, bring your car or truck into Complete Automotive Repair. Sean Carey and his crew will take care of it with bumper-to-bumper service. Everything from brake work and shocks to computer diagnostics, even engine repair or replacement. The one name to remember is CAR, Complete Automotive Repair, where the name says it all. 419 Lafayette Avenue, Crawfordsville, or call them at 364-9714.
Manny Cervantes gets the first down call for North Montgomery deep in their own territory. Jerry Dotson has the stop for Monrovia. Gain of a couple out across the 15-yard line. Gain of about 3, Tom. So North really has about their worst field position of the ball game, although with a 3-touchdown lead and over the course of the season, deep in their own territory has never bothered this offense.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see North Montgomery, who loves to throw the ball so much, knowing that they can just milk the clock here, 24-0 up, and we'll see how well they can establish a running game.
Second down, 7 to go. Under 8 minutes to play in the third quarter. Slicker over center, wideouts 1 to each side, 1 back behind him in the 4-point stance. That's Cervantes. Slicker back to throw. Play action, throwing deep, throwing it a mile downfield, looking for McCormick. He can't get to the ball as Slicker was standing at about his own 3-yard line, and when the ball hit the turf, it hit at the Monrovia 46-yard line. So about a 50 yards in the air attempt. McCormick, though, was about 5 yards, not downfield, not upfield, just crossfield from the ball.
Yeah, Jason McCormick got himself out to about the 40-yard line, Jeff, and then made a cut back to the inside. BJ expected him to continue to run that corner route. Just a miscommunication, and if the ball falls incomplete, it'll be 3rd down and 7.
And with 7:40 to go, clock stopped. North Montgomery 2-5 on 3rd down conversion attempts on the game. 2 wideouts come left, including John Sparks in the slot on the left side. Cervantes sets up, and Slicker calls timeout. So the defensive formation did not appear to be what BJ was looking for on 3rd down and long, and he's going to have to call timeout. And we'll take timeout here as well, as we remind you that on WIMC FM, it is with 7:40 to go in the third quarter. North Montgomery holding a 24-0 lead over Monrovia. Game started to the mid-20s, wind chills down, in that close to 15 degrees, which is where we were at the start of the ball game. So it's been a chilly night, but boy, a lot of North fans out here all bundled up, a lot of them down on the sidelines there, and they're certainly anticipating good things if their team can hold on to this lead. After the timeout, BJ 6 of 13, 124 yards and a touchdown. Here's Cervantes on 3rd down, has the first down, has more to the 30 to 32-yard line. He is hit hard and rolled out of bounds by Kai Kizzy, but not before Manny Cervantes picks up a handful of yards. We'll officially call it 18, and North converts on a 3rd down. They move the sticks.
That's right, and Manny almost doubles his yardage on the night there, coming into that carry, 7 for 24. Now 8 carries, 42 yards for Manny Cervantes.
Everybody looking past, John, and the run works.
That's right, and Manny Cervantes does a great job. Once he explodes around the outside corner, he's going to pick up some good yardage.
North done that a couple times tonight, converting on 3rd down and relatively long yardage by putting the ball on the ground. Boy, look at the breaths puffing from those offensive and defensive linemen. On 1st down, here's Slicker over the middle. Gwynn has the catch. He'll have another 1st down at about the 45-yard line. Kai Kizzy has it. That's the bread and butter play of Jason Gwynn. Down about 8-9 yards, cut inside. Slicker has it for him. Pickup of 11, his first catch of the night.
That play set up by the great play-action pass, fake handoff to Manny Cervantes. It froze that linebacker, allowed Jason Gwynn to make that little move to the inside, and BJ just rockets the ball in there.
As Flag sets up in the front of the I formation. He'll block, leading for Manny Cervantes on 1st down. Chris Pryor comes up from an outside linebacker position. Cervantes picks up about 3, and we were talking about number changes for Tim Flagg, Tom. I know earlier in the season when they changed Flagg's number the first time, it was to give him more time running the ball, and now it proved to be a good move tonight because he has to block for an injured and missing Kevin Templeman.
Yeah, Kevin Templeman had that little problem with the cramp earlier. Obviously no reason to bring him back, any chance to get him injured.
On 2nd down, we'll call it 8 to go from about the 47-yard line. On play action, BJ looking out over the middle as McCormick was looking to get open. Boy, there was big contact at about the 30-yard line of Monrovia. The back judge said the pass goes incomplete. Todd Huff had the coverage. Well, there was a lot of contact down there, but, hey, no call on that one. It goes incomplete.
I tell you what, Todd Huff had inside position on Jason McCormick there.
And that's why there was no flag.
That's right, because, McCormick has allowed Huff to get inside of him, and that's just an excellent play by the quarterback offensively for Monrovia, that he gets himself in that position, and that's about the only way you're going to slow Jason McCormick down is to get him out of his route.
Chargers 3 for 6 on 3rd down. It'll be 3rd down, a 7 to go call coming up for Slicker. I formation set up behind him, 2 wide outs to the right side. Now going wide in motion is Flag. Here's a pass out on the flat. It's a forward pass out to McCormick, breaks the tackle, spins, tries to break another one. Oh, he's going to be knocked out right at about the stick. The ball skitters out out onto the running track on the far side of the field. Our side judge nearest us on this side of the field is standing square on the Monrovia 45-yard line, which would be enough for a North Montgomery first down. And we'll see what the call is here.
Yeah, they're going to mark it at the 45, Jeff. That's going to be enough for a first down. BJ is now going to be 8 of 16, 143 yards, and the 1 touchdown.
Gain of 8 on that pass completion to McCormick. Boy, from where we stood, that was very, very close to a lateral out there to McCormick. But then, John, as we've seen several times by individual players, tremendous second effort because Jason was wrapped up. I mean, he only had a couple yards and he eventually got the first.
That's right, Greg. Great leg drive that time by Jason McCormick, keeping it alive. He knew he had to get to first down, and a big first down for North Montgomery.
Somebody put a helmet on his elbow, though. That ball really flew when he got out of bounds. 3 catches, 31 yards for McCormick. On first down, BJ looking deep, looking for Jason McCormick, and he can't get to the ball. The ball falls incomplete at about the 15-yard line.
3 catches, 31 yards, very different for Jason McCormick from last week's game, Jeff, where he had 2 catches, 107 yards, and a pair of touchdowns.
Well, on the season, averaging 25.5 yards per catch, 31 receptions, 792 yards, and 10 touchdowns for McCormick coming into tonight's contest as our second down and 10 play coming up. Brent, sometimes you just can't worry about that they move the ball.
Well, Brent was asleep, and they spotted the ball at the 44 originally.
And it'll be second down and 10 for North in Monrovia territory, 6:24 on the third quarter clock, and it is stopped after the incomplete pass. 4 wideouts in the pattern. Slicker takes the snap out of the draw and will move forward behind the blocking of Jason Brown and Brad LaFoon. Andy Tower will make the stop after a gain of about 6. So it'll be a third down and short call coming up for North, moderately deep into Monrovia territory.
Yeah, just a standard play for North Montgomery to get BJ to take it, go around, cut between the guard and the tackle, and go upfield. He has to watch stretching that ball out. As strong as his hands and arms are, that somebody's going to come through and swipe that ball away.
North, who has converted on third down 4 out of 7 times, faces now yet another third down call. Slicker changing the play at the line of scrimmage, as he does many, many times. Calling that audible, takes the snap, hands off, gives it to Flagg, now pulls it away, keeps it himself, dives and drives forward. Tom and John are both saying it's a first down. Brent now says that it's unanimous as Slicker. Another good individual second effort by a Charger offensive player. Gain of 5 and a first down for North.
I tell you what, I think that play was designed, Jeff, to be a handoff, and BJ pulled it out at the last second, decided to take it himself because that was a little bit of a fight between Cervantes and BJ for that ball.
And we've seen that many times as well, where BJ will literally pull the ball away from a runner on occasion and improvise, if you will, on occasion. With the ball spotted now on the 33-yard line of Monrovia, Slicker's got a fresh set of downs, looking at first and driving on the call. This is Cervantes. Quick hitter up the left side. Kevin Krull opens a big hole. Brandon Wolf helps out. Chris Pryor steps up from a linebacker position to knock Cervantes down, but not before the scatback picks up almost enough yards for a first down. They'll mark his knee back just at about the 24-yard line. Brent says it'll be a gain of about 9.
I tell you what, just an excellent play by North Montgomery, and they have such different guys, different running backs. When you've got Manny, who's so small, you have Flagg and Templeman so big, and then BJ, who's bigger than all of them, and it just causes so many different problems for a defense.
McCormick splits out wide to the right side. He'll pick up single coverage on second down and short. Cervantes in the backfield, takes the pitch, works left side. There's one block. There's another block, and Cervantes is run out of bounds at about the 20-yard line. Rose on the push out of bounds, but not before Cervantes picks up enough yards for the first down. The Chargers now just outside the 20, just outside the red zone, and looking to add to their 24-0 lead.
The kind of drive we thought North Montgomery needed. This drive has already gone 12 plays in over 4 minutes, and after a pickup of 4 and a first down by Cervantes, North Montgomery first down at the 20.
And the clock sits at 4:39 and counting as they position the ball again right on the near hash mark at the 20-yard line. Slicker over center, one back behind him. It's Cervantes. Back one step, fakes a throw. McCormick flared out, looking for the end zone. Here's a catch now by Gwynn. Gwynn has about 5 yards. Gwynn in the middle of a lot of traffic is hauled down by Andy Tower, but had the play developed another second or two, McCormick on that play fake had really hitched around and was flying for the end zone. I don't think there was anybody very close to him.
As I say, BJ did a good job on that hard fake and did a good job. He rockets it through. Luckily, Jason Gwynn's got those great hands, and he cuts the ball being triple teamed.
And picks up 6 yards. It'll be second down and 4 with the ball just at about the 15-yard line. Slicker again sets the same formation up. Here's a swing pass to McCormick. He's got it. He's a foot race for the corner of the end zone, and he's got it at 6 points for North Montgomery. No flags to Jason McCormick, 14 yards on the pass completion, and the Chargers lead 30-0.
And I tell you what, this is where we're going to see North will probably, Jeff, after this conversion attempt, you'll see them keep some of their first-string defensive players in. They'll start resting those offensive players from here on out. No reason to get anyone hurt with only 18 or 15 minutes left to go here in the game, and what's got to be an insurmountable lead.
With the clock stopped at 3:46 to go, the Chargers over center for a 2-point conversion. I don't think they have kicked an extra point all year, and I don't think they've attempted a field goal. Everybody shakes their heads no, we'll call it that way. As Slicker takes the snap, rolls back, has some time, into the end zone, and with the catch, great catch by Jason Gwynn. He just rifled that pass between about 3 sets of defenders' arms. Gwynn juggled it a couple times, stayed hugging the far end of the end zone line, and hauled it in for 2 points.
I tell you what, B.J. Slicker walks over and he just kind of slaps Jason Gwynn, and those guys are on the same page. They've thrown that pass very well, and Jason Gwynn's probably the one person on this team who can catch that rocket bullet that B.J. likes to throw. Jason McCormick with that touchdown now, 4 catches, 46 yards on the night. North Montgomery now leads 32-0, 3:46 left to go in the third period.
And look at the drive chart here in just a second as McCormick has his first score of the night, although he did catch a 2-point conversion pass in the first quarter. So the Chargers now have been perfect on that tonight as they have scored 8 points after touchdowns.
Yeah, North Montgomery's drive, 14 plays, 88 yards, 4:47.
So the Chargers take a commanding 32-0 lead here, and they'll kick off.
Okay. All right.
Last we heard at halftime, Chittard was leading Cecina. And those will be the two teams that play in Indianapolis next week. When the final score pulls down, if it stays this way, on this squib kick at about the 21-yard line. This is Dan Rose. Rose gets around one tackler, gets around the 30-yard line, gets up near the 34-yard line.
I tell you what, while we're waiting for this change of possession, we've got an injury timeout from the sideline from Greg Simpson. We'll listen to that. Let us know how Kevin Templeman's doing.
Hey, Greg Simpson with WIMC on the sidelines at the sectional championship game. The report from the sidelines is Templeman has leg cramps. He's due to dehydration, so they're just going to save him for defense here in the second half of the ball game.
Thank you very much, Greg. Report from cold and frosty. Greg Simpson down on the sideline. On first down, we see a flag fly. We've seen very few of those, as on first down, Sam DeWeese has the call. And let's see what the penalty will be. I believe North's only had 2 penalties tonight.
No, 3 penalties. They had 3 penalties.
Had an illegal block.
They had the unsportsmanlike, and then they had
the touchdown back.
Then they had the holding call.
Yep.
Penalties for 25.
3 penalties for 25 yards. This penalty, though, is going to go against Monrovia.
Block below the waist.
Another illegal block. This one below the waist. And the mark-off will go back to about the 30-yard line.
4 yards.
As our referees try to stay warm down there, too. The main referee brought one of those ski mask sort of things.
Like Barry Lewis.
Yeah, except it's black instead of purple. 4th penalty on Monrovia. It'll be first down now. We'll call it 14 yards to go from the spot of the foul. The penalty marked backwards. The clock moves now. 3 minutes and
4-yard mark
down. 4-yard. Thank you. Actually, what you could do is go back and give Pryor a yard, go from that. Now, on second down, here's a pass. Huff's pass is intercepted. Aaron Yerkes has it. Yerkes has his second interception as Huff. Tom Coyle just threw that ball up for grabs. He had so much altitude on it. Yerkes had plenty of time to move away from his coverage man. I believe he was throwing it out for Ryan Toole on this right side of the field. Yerkes saw the ball way up in the air. It was almost like a punt and got away from his coverage man and hauled in the loose ball.
North Montgomery's been fortunate in the first 3 weeks of the tournament to play teams that really don't have the ability to throw the ball, and they get these big leads and they force teams to throw, and North Montgomery causes turnovers.
Now that they do. Chittard doesn't throw the ball all that much either, but boy, do they run well. We'll see what happens. Flag goes in motion on first down, the Chargers. Here's a lateral pass back to McCormick. Same play that scored not too long ago, as McCormick will pick up about 6 or 7 yards. And John says we got a flag on the far side.
I'm not sure what the call is. I've just seen the yellow thing come flying out.
It's going to be an illegal block on the North Montgomery Chargers, and it's going to be from a spot foul. It'll be a 10-yard mark-off. It'll end up setting up a first down and 5 back at about the 35.
So McCormick will pick up a few yards on that lateral pitch out on the far side. Up the field he goes. Back we go on the mark-off. Interesting, Tom, that now all of a sudden, after very, very well played first, second, and almost all of the third quarter, we've got only 2:20 to go here in the third, that now we get the flag starting to fly, and hopefully it won't be a matter of teams getting frustrated or teams getting tired, and we start seeing a lot of mistakes.
Well, I just think it's the mental concentration point at this. You're up 32-0 or down 32-0, 2:14 left to go in the third quarter. Sectional championship game, that it's really tough to maintain that mental toughness.
As the actual net on the play, -7, so McCormick picked up about 3 on that particular call. As the handoff goes to Cervantes, Cervantes tries to get around the left side. Good open field tackle. Get the name of the guy there. We get him up off the field. Chris Pryor rolls around. He really stuck a finger out and tripped Cervantes. He could have picked up a bunch of yards there, John.
That's right. And we've been calling defensive backs a lot for them, on tackles tonight from Monrovia. Something that's not doing a very good job for them.
You don't want to see the D-backs and safeties having to make the mop-ups. 12 carries, 60 yards for Cervantes, right at that 5-yard average that he had coming into tonight's ball game. Slicker changes the call at the line of scrimmage and then calls timeout. Looking to audible as he brought Jason Gwynn in from out in the right slot into the line, tight at the tight end position, and then runs out of time on the play clock and has to call timeout. We'll take timeout also from
their lead. Monrovia 32-0. Jeff, B.J. Slicker, pretty good night so far. 10 of 19, 164 yards and the 2 touchdowns. North now carrying the ball 21 times, 108 yards and 1 on the ground, giving them over 270 yards of total offense.
Interesting, though, over the last couple of weeks in the playoffs, they have not amassed the 400 or 500 yards of offense that you sometimes see teams score with or roll up with 44 points. And, of course, recovering a fumble in the end zone. And when your defense is putting points on the board, certainly has made for, easy pickings for North. On second down and long, here is Slicker on the snap, rolls out on a broken play. I think Cervantes slipped and was probably the guy who should have gotten the ball. Troy Sassy makes the final tackle on BJ as he rolls out to the right side. He'll lose another yard or 2, and it'll be third down and long coming up now for the Chargers, who are 4 of 8 on third down.
Jeff, they're in that one part of the field where just inside the hash marks on this near side of the field is where the dirt has been kicked up, and because of all the rain this week, that's where the field's in its worst condition, and that's exactly where Manny Cervantes fell down.
BJ loses 4 on that last particular play as we get down under a minute to go here in the third quarter. The Chargers up by 4 touchdowns, cruising along, looking again for their first ever sectional championship. Third down play coming up. Slicker rolls to the left, now laterals backwards to Cervantes. Cervantes tiptoes along the left sideline. He won't quite get to the first down sticks. He'll get out to about the 47 or 48-yard line of North Montgomery, where Huff and Tower have to knock him out of bounds. But BJ got about 8 yards in front of the line of scrimmage, make it 7. He then lateraled back to Cervantes, who then picked up 8 more yards to get North fairly close, Tom. Fourth down now and about 3 or 4 to go. And, if you're a gambling coach, you can go for it, but I would assume that North will kick the ball away on 4th.
Yeah, there's no reason not to kick the ball away with a 32-point lead, 36.6 seconds remaining here in the third.
Old Eagle Eye John Roach said he even saw Coach German give BJ the kick sign. Here's the snap. BJ looks one time and then kicks it away down to about the 20-yard line with the ball. I believe that is going to be Kai Kizzy. Kizzy has it, works up the right side after a 33-yard kick. LaFoon has a pretty darn good hit there on punt coverage, but after the 12-yard return, Monrovia will have it for the last 29 seconds of the third quarter.
Yeah, luckily for Kizzy, he fell down, or LaFoon would have just hauled off and nailed him.
Yeah, LaFoon had a pretty good head of steam built up, and as you heard Greg Simpson talk about at halftime, that LaFoon was the guy kind of pacing up and down the sidelines through the whole first half. You don't want a guy with all that energy to come down and give you a pop when you're good and cold. We'll spot the ball at the 32-yard line, down to the final 15 seconds of this third quarter. Huff over center on the handoff on first down. He'll give the ball off to Duisi, and he will pick up. Now, he might get back to the original line of scrimmage. Now, Brent says it's going to be a loss of 1 yard on the final play of the third quarter. Kevin Templeman on the hit for North Montgomery. Tackle for loss will end things here. After 3 quarters of play, the Chargers have 12 minutes remaining between them and their first ever sectional football championship. We'll be back with fourth quarter action right after this. Other decisions to worry about. But one of the things you might want to start thinking about is how long you might want to keep some of the guys in. Greg Simpson's down in the field and was wondering, we were talking about how long will the Charger starters stay in.
Greg Simpson again reporting from North Montgomery on the sidelines, just chatting with assistant coach Mike Sowers, asking you about how long he intends to keep some of the players in the game. The offensive unit, they intend to start pulling any time. The defense, they plan on keeping in there as long as possible.
All right, thank you very much, Greg, as we get back to action here in the fourth quarter. As Huff rolls out looking to throw, he's not even going to get back to the line of scrimmage. So Corey Walden has yet another North Montgomery sack, and I believe, Brent, that'll be number 5. Number 4. It is 5. It is 5, thank you. And Monrovia is going to look to go into a hurry-up offense. Huff takes the snap, and now we've got flags on the play, and a North Montgomery coach's clipboard just flew about 12 feet up in the air. So I'm going to assume that penalty may have gone against the Chargers.
I'm not sure, but that clipboard, I think it's going to be against Monrovia for moving too fast. I think that clipboard belonged to J.D. Minch, who was not happy with the way his defensive linemen set up on that play. They were not ready for Monrovia to go into this quick offense. And as one of the players comes off the field and goes over to talk to Coach Minch, he's not real happy, and neither is Coach Minch.
Let's get some third quarter stats here, Tom, while the officials are still sorting everything out down in the field.
Sure, for Monrovia now, 26 carries, 51 yards, just under 2 yards per carry average. Passing the ball, Huff, 1 of 3, 1 interception, 4 yards, 55 total yards, and the 5 first downs. For the Chargers, 23 carries, 119 yards. BJ, 10 of 19, 164, giving him 283 total yards, 13 first downs. North Montgomery's been penalized 4 times for 32 yards, only 2 penalties for 2 yards for Monrovia, and the 3 turnovers for Monrovia and no turnovers for the Charger. I'm not sure why you've got that grin on your face.
Well, because the North Montgomery coaching clipboard flew 12 feet in the air, and they marked 5 yards off against Monrovia anyway. So maybe
coaches are never happy.
But they must have got some style points or something, and Monrovia gets the mark off. So they face now a third down and forever about almost 18 yards to go. As Huff has it over center, I formation set up. He'll hand the ball off as it really looks like Monrovia has pretty much kind of cashed things in here. DeWeese has the call, and he'll get a yard or so out to about the 23-yard line. White Cotton, Walden, a couple of others in on the action defensively for North, and McCormick will drop back deep for North Montgomery. Also back deep for the Chargers, Aaron Yerkes, who had that interception on the last defensive series, his second interception of the season. Here's the high snap. Oh, there's the block. Brown's got the block. The ball is picked up by Monrovia, and the run by Chris Pryor will roll left side. Boy, that was so close to a face mask, Tom. So close. But on the block by Jason Brown, yet another block for the North defensive special teams. That's Brown's individually second block of the season.
And I tell you what, North just overloaded that right side of the defense and went right at it. Jason Brown timed that well. They got right through, got the block, and now Jason Brown, a block kick, 2 fumble recoveries, and 2 pass deflections here in this ball game.
And Brown's even got a touchdown to go along with it. Tom Sutton had the final tackle on that carry by Pryor, and with 10:30 and counting, Slicker has but scant yards to go. He'll hand off to Cervantes on first down just outside the 20-yard line of Monrovia. Manny will lose a yard or 2. Mike Roach comes up with a nice tackle. See, all those guys named Roach, they can play defense even if they don't spell their names the same, right?
Well, it's all that great athletic ability.
No doubt about it. Loss of a couple yards for Cervantes, as I'm sure the Chargers will throw only when absolutely necessary here. Deep into Monrovia territory, leading under the 10-minute mark in the fourth quarter. 32-0 is our score. Slicker with one back set behind him. Calls the signals. Whips, fires, turns, gives it off to Cervantes. He is tripped up at the original line of scrimmage. He'll fall forward for a yard or so, as I believe we've got Joe Kimmel on the tackle there. He was the first guy in, coming in from a nose tackle position, spun Manny down, and Cervantes picks up 1, so it'll set up a third down and about 10 to go now for North.
And while you talk about North not wanting to throw the ball if they don't have to, this you'll very likely see them throw a very safe pass likely to go to Jason Gwynn.
Third and about 10.5, 11 yards to go. Slicker out wide to the left side. 4 of 9 on third down is North Montgomery. Slicker with one back set behind him, takes the snap. 2 steps back. Out on the flat. He's got his man open. This is Ratcliffe. Ratcliffe gets down to about the 22-yard line, maybe the 23, depending on the spot. The tackle by Dan Rose, but it'll not be nearly enough for the first down. As a gain of only about 3 yards, makes it now 4th down and about 7 to go. The ball spotted just outside the 20. We'll call it the 21.
Yeah, North now will set up for 4th down and about 9, Jeff, and they can do several things. Look for BJ to roll down the right side with the ball, and if he has to, he can pitch the ball to Manny Cervantes. They like to run this to the tight side of the field.
Chargers have a couple of conversions, 1 out of 2 on 4th down this evening. They'll look for their 3rd attempt here. Same formation set up. Slicker, play fake over the middle. Gwynn has it off his fingertips, pops up behind him and falls incomplete. So on the incomplete pass, North will turn the ball over on downs. Good coverage by Kai Kizzy.
And while we're having a change of possession here, we've got a scoring update from the Chatard-Cecina game. Here's Harvey Keller.
In a game featuring 2 great backs, Donald Winston of Cecina and Donnell Hamilton of Chatard put him on a great individual display tonight, but it's all Chatard on the scoreboard, 35-7 as we reach the end of the 3rd quarter. Huge numbers being put up. Chatard in 6 positions has scored on 5. For WIMC WCVO Sports, reporting from Warren Central High School, this is Harvey Keller.
Chris Pryor takes the first down carry on the call for Monrovia. Sean Ratcliffe has to make the tackle from a free safety position, and it means good field position now for the Bulldogs after they took over on downs. They now move the ball out across the 35-yard line, almost to the 40.
Yeah, excellent running play. North Montgomery, you'll start seeing, as you heard Greg talk about, they're going to soften up a little bit of things on defense. You're going to start seeing some defensive substitutions for the Chargers, and we'll see Monrovia take advantage of that.
Pryor picks up 17 yards on that particular call at the 39-yard line now. Huff stands over center with a first down. Here's a throw out on the left flat. The ball goes right through the hands of Ryan Toole. Jason McCormick had coverage, and Tom, that may have been the most obvious indication of cold hands that we've seen.
Yeah, the ball just slipped right through. Jeff Wycott almost came up with the ball as he jumped up from the defensive end standpoint. And I tell you what, as you're talking about, very good job defensively for North Montgomery. Huff now only 1 of 4 for 4 yards,
which is exactly what he had, and the 4 yards is what he had passing at halftime. So last week, North shut down Speedway's running attack to the tune of 38 yards, and right now 1 completion passing. Huff back to throw, throwing it out, looking out on the flat on the right sideline, but about 6 steps out of bounds. Intended receiver Kai Kizzy does not have any chance to catch the ball. Good coverage on that particular play for North Montgomery, and just really forcing the ball, forcing the pass as it went deep out of bounds. As Monrovia now looks at their 7th third down conversion attempt of the ball game, they have converted on only 1. And how'd you like to be Monrovia offensive lineman right now, John, with a 3rd down and 10?
Well, they're just going to start protecting the quarterback, giving him a little bit of time to throw the ball.
Well, that's exactly the thought of Coach West. He figures that North is coming with the all-out blitz, and so what they do is they give the ball off to Chris Pryor, and Pryor is going to be very lucky to get back to the original line of scrimmage. Brent puts a fist up in the air. We'll call it no gain, 4th down, and all of that 10 yards to go now for Monrovia. They have been shut out thus far tonight. It is 32-0. North Montgomery only 7 minutes and 35 seconds away from the school's first ever football sectional championship. Monrovia on their 3rd 4th down attempt of the night, unsuccessful on the first 2. They got an I formation set up behind them. Here's Huff. Oh, then there's a bad communication. People banging against each other in the backfield, and all that does is give Tim Flagg enough time to come pouring through an opening in the line of scrimmage. A loss of 4, and the Chargers take over again on downs, again in Monrovia territory.
A little bit surprised here, Jeff. We're going to see the starting unit for the offense for North Montgomery. If no other reason, we talked to him a last week, we saw them staying longer and longer in these games. At some point in time, they're going to have to play 4 quarters. They've only really had to do that one time all season, and that was the loss to Crawfordsville.
And, well, or also against Frankfort in the win here at home. They did the same thing. But then also playing 4 quarters in what could be very, very cold conditions again next week in regional competition. Here's the handoff to Cervantes on first down. As we heard Greg Simpson report from the sidelines, Kevin Templeman, who had a bad leg cramp in the first half, will not see, or we don't believe he'll see any offensive action in the second half. That means Cervantes gets the majority of the work when North runs the ball. He picks up 1 yard. Pryor has the tackle, and the clock continues to move as the ball is spotted at the Monrovia 34.
Nick Johnson checks in at tight end for the Chargers.
Nick with 1 tight end. And that hot chocolate call we heard was from Nick's mom a little while ago. Slicker calling for the ball over center. 5-step drop back out on the flat, throwing it out for Gwynn. Does he have it?
Apparently so.
Just says yes. Gwynn was sliding and it looked like he lost his footing and as he fell, the ball got right into him. A pickup of about 3 yards on that particular play.
Reminds you of the sectional championship a couple years ago.
Yes, that it does. Ball spotted squarely on the 30-yard line as we go under the halfway point of this 4th quarter. 6 minutes and counting. Third down, we'll call it 5 to go for North Montgomery at the Monrovia 30-yard line. Cervantes, single back behind Slicker. Wide out 1 to each side. On the fake, there's a broken play. Slicker was looking to, and take it back, it was not Cervantes in the backfield for North Montgomery, as it was John Ratcliffe, and I think Ratcliffe went right instead of left. BJ made the big fake, went to hand off, there was nobody there. He just spun around and went to the ground and lost 5 yards. Back to the 35-yard line, where it'll be now 4th down and 10 for North. And this will be a good chance to work on the Pooch kicking game. BJ stands at his own 45, takes the short snap, no drop at all, kicks it down to about the 15-yard line. The ball is loose. Ball's loose again on a tackle. Oh, we got an official calling the ball dead at about the 14-yard line.
And I tell you what, we're going to have Monrovia take over the ball at about the 13-yard line. We're going to take a quick timeout. Jeff, we'll kick it back to the studio. We've got some scoring updates from John O.
On the WIMC scoreboard, I'm John O. Some halftime scores for you. Harrison led Carmel at the half, 7-0. Cathedral over Avon, also 7-0 at the half. Roncalli 28, New Palestine 7 at the half. And as you heard Harvey Keller say, in the 4th quarter now, Chittard 35, Cecina 7. In pro basketball, the Pacers 56, Atlanta 51 at the half. I'm John O. at WIMC. Now let's go back out to Jeff and company at North Montgomery.
A nice warm John O. We've got his phone held hostage out here, though. We'll make him come out to a cold North field and pick it up after the game. How about that? After a 16-yard kick, the Bulldogs take over. 1st down and 10. They give the ball off to Dan Rose. Rose, the 175-pound junior. They're just going to have to call this one from the program, basically, as the teams now will probably use a lot of reserves in the last 4 or 5 minutes of this contest. 4:18 and counting. Pickup of about 7 for Rose. Coach West, as we had noted, has a very senior-dominated team. They are 6-4 coming into tonight's action. Their 4 losses came to 4 real good teams earlier in the regular season, but they've got a lot of rebuilding to do next year after a loss of 11 offensive starters, and I believe it's 9 defensive starters. And not all of them play both ways. 2nd down, about 3 to go from the 20-yard line. Here's a pass out on the flat as the new quarterback also for Monrovia is Brad Huff. So Brad Huff, the freshman quarterback, we will guess or assume he may be the younger brother of senior quarterback Huff. Brandon Willett is the intended receiver, should say Todd Huff. Brandon Willett was just way short of by about 6 yards on the intended pass.
And I tell you what, Jeff, as some of these North players come off the field and he's coaching, you see these people start to get a little bit happier and realize that this is pretty much in the bag. The one person who stayed very intense on that sideline, Mike Sowers, he wants his defense to record a shutout.
Yeah, in the sectional championship, because that one goes up on the scoreboard and then goes up on the trophy for all time and all posterity. On 3rd down and about 3. Here's a misdirection play. The handoff will go inside for Monrovia. It may be Pryor on the carry. Wait and see who gets up off the stack. Kevin Templeman has the tackle. We know John had that particular call. Also, I know after a gain of a couple yards, we also see in as a blocking back Scott Selke, a junior 5'11", 180-pound fullback who is in on some action there. And now A lot of North fans up on their feet, probably trying to get some circulation back in their knees, if nothing else, as we get down close to the 3-minute mark. 4th down. Here's a high snap. Pryor got to try and get rid of it. Does get rid of it. He'll kick it about 15 yards downfield, and it'll go out of bounds. He was at least not tackled at about the 5-yard line, and North Montgomery is going to take over. We're going to take a quick 30-second timeout. North will have it when we come back.
Top Line Athletics at 212 East Main Street is your one-stop store for all of your sporting needs. Uniforms and equipment, in-house screen printing, custom-made multicolor heat transfers, athletic shoes by ASICS and Converse, Wilson golf equipment and shoes, trophies and awards for all occasions, custom designed and built in-house. Computer engraving, multicolor sublimation now available at Top Line Athletics, 212 East Main Street in Crawfordsville.
After a 4-yard kick, the Chargers will take over. Slicker still quarterbacking the team, but John Ratcliffe will take the handoff on 1st down. He'll just crash up the middle behind some good blocking by some reserve guys. Lots of fresh faces checking in now for the Chargers. Pickup of about 7 yards for Ratcliffe, who got a touchdown last week in closing minute action against Speedway. Now here comes a whole bunch of very familiar names with several seniors and several reserve starters and seniors checking in off the game. McCormick leaves. Also, Nick Johnson checks out. Slicker on 2nd down and short. We're under 2.5 minutes to go. Wide pitch. Here's Ratcliffe. Bobbles it. Goes left, though. He'll pick up the 1st down as he gets down near the 15-yard line.
Ratcliffe was able to get a touchdown in last week's game, Jeff, in the similar situation. You heard Coach Slicker talk about it after the game, about how he's that practice squad. He's the pretty much the guy who gets beat on by this first-string defense every week in practice.
And here comes B.J. Slicker. After the 1st down is obtained, North will pull senior starting quarterback B.J. Slicker to the applause of all the crowd here down in front of us at the press box. Andrew Dowden in the ball game now in the front line for North Montgomery, as we see just lots and lots of new guys. Sparks over center, the quarterback of the next generation for North. He's going to give it to Ratcliffe, and Ratcliffe's going to go in.
Nope, they're going to mark him down at about the 1-yard line.
Boy, I thought he made that last dive with the ball for that orange goal line. Gain of 14 for Ratcliffe, who I'm sure he could smell that end zone. And his 2nd touchdown, he comes just inches short.
I tell you what, Jeff, talk about these players that have checked out of the game. That offensive line's out of the game. Manny Cervantes finishes up the game. 16 carries, 68 yards. BJ, 12 of 22, 170 yards and a pair of touchdown passes.
One back behind junior quarterback John Sparks, and I'm going to guess that John Ratcliffe's going to get the handoff on 1st and goal. He's got it. No, Sparks keeps it, rolls right, and he scores. John Sparks has his first touchdown of the season, and North Montgomery jumps out to a 38-0 lead with 1:31 to go in the game.
That is his second touchdown of the season.
Second touchdown of the season.
Comes in from 1 yard out.
And adds to the stat.
So it's 38-0, 1:31 left to go, and it's nice to see that second team for the second week in a row be able to put points on the board for this Charger offense.
And Sparks will line up behind center for the 2-point conversion attempt. Sparks to Ratcliffe, straight up behind the middle blocking, and he'll have 2. So Sparks has 1-yard run for 6. Ratcliffe has the extra point attempt, and North Montgomery will be kicking off when we come back.
It's that time of year again to start thinking about cutting wood. Stop by Moffett Small Engines in Waynetown and see their wide selection of steel saws and their low prices on the necessity items of fall and winter, including bar oil and chains. Moffett Small Engines in Waynetown, your home for good service and low prices.
Well, the Chargers don't have to go too far. 26 yards in 4 plays. They only take a minute and a half. The second team scores a touchdown. And, Tom, as we noted, it's a very comfortable 40-0 lead right now. And now it's just a matter of will the defense preserve that shutout. And I would venture a guess that Coach Sauer has all the reserve defensive guys guaranteeing that to the starters.
I was going to say, I'm sure they will. Anybody who gives up a score at this point with a minute and a half left to go is going to have a long week of practice with those seniors.
And it will be Mike Gerald kicking off. He'll tow one down the right sideline. It'll go out of bounds at about the 25 or so, and it'll be Monrovia's ball, first and 10 at their own 35, unless they want to re-kick.
I don't know. I see B.J. Slicker strapping on his helmet to get ready to go out there to play defense, and so I think Mike Sowers is willing to put his starting defense back out there to preserve the shutout. And you see those cameramen, Jeff, the TV cameramen, you see those guys from the Journal Review. They're getting in a position to take that picture of that sectional championship and when that clock goes off.
Now the emotion of a lot of years of hard work, some frustration, and a lot of other things can explode in a minute and 30 seconds exactly, as Monrovia will have the ball, and Coach Charlie German, in his 13th season at the helm of North Montgomery, is just 90 seconds away from putting a first in his coaching career, his first high school football sectional championship, as it will also be for North Montgomery.
And in true North Montgomery fashion, they had a timeout left to use, so they're going to use it, because making these defensive substitutions, they only had 9 guys on the field. Quick timeout. Mike Sowers will not be happy, but when BJ and Jason Gwynn and a lot of those other defensive starters did not go back out on the field, their replacements were too busy celebrating and not running out on the field.
Well, the last report we had from Harvey Keller was that Chittard was leading big over at Indianapolis, and as it all sets up with a 35-7 score at the end of the third quarter, as all things considered right now, it will be North Montgomery traveling to Indianapolis next week for regional football action against Indianapolis Chittard, which will set up a meeting of 2 top 10 rated teams in Class 2A. Promises to be a really, really good football game.
And as Crawford will always seem to find out with their 2 teams that have gone to the Final Four, Jeff, you always seem to have to go through one of those Catholic schools if you want to get to the Dome.
Yep. Spoken like a good true one himself, a good Irish guy there.
I thought you meant a good Crawfordsville grad.
Yeah, that's true too. Templeman, a big stick on first down. Also in on the hit. Flag is there as the carry by Brandon Hoffman is a gain of about 2, maybe 3 yards. Pretty good hit on that as they move the sticks now, and the clock gets down to 1 minute and 5 seconds and counting. Again, it will also be the first 10-win season for North Montgomery.
That's right, and you see those parents of those players that have broken out those sectional championship T-shirts they've been wearing underneath their jackets all night. They're now over the jackets and sweatshirts, proudly being displayed.
Josh Rivers checks in defensively for North Montgomery as Monrovia keeps the ball back on the ground once again. This is going to be Hoffman. Hoffman, the freshman, picks up a couple more yards, gain of about 2, out to the 40-yard line where it'll be 3rd down and 5. The clock now down to 35 seconds and counting, and again, you can hear more cheering from the North crowd right down here in front of us, and we'll let the crowd help take us in. Coach Sowers has taken a long walk down to the 30-yard line. He's coming back. Photographers everywhere down around Coach German. 13 seconds, last play of the sectional championship game coming up. Monrovia on the handoff. Huff gives the ball off one more time. It's going to be a big hit by Walden. In other words, here comes the clock down to the countdown, and it is over. And the North Montgomery Chargers have erased one big missing element from their high school sports program, as the Chargers have won the Class 2A Section 30 football championship with a very impressive 40-0 win over Monrovia.
Yeah, and that's an excellent job. It caps off that one goal that they wanted to. They've always wanted to go one step further than the Chargers have ever gone. They achieve that now as they work their way one step closer to getting themselves to play Indianapolis. Quickly, Jeff, a couple scores to pass along. Zionsville defeated Danville 17-8, and late in the fourth quarter, Harrison leads Carmel 16-15.
Well, that means that Diamond Joe's got himself another ball game. A big win for Zionsville. As they win, we'll do our best to hang on. We're going to have a couple of coaches to talk to here during our post-game show. Coach Lutz and or Coach Slicker will be down there to talk to us, as they always have through the course of several years after North Montgomery broadcast. And then I am also going to get down on the field. We'll meet up with Greg Simpson after the trophy presentation, which is going on right now. We will get down and talk with Coach Charlie German here, as he has won his first sectional championship. Again, it's 40-0, and the Chargers are champions.
I tell you what, and this will be, as you talk about, something that they've built over for several years. These seniors have been so close this in their 4 years. They finally get that sectional championship. I remember being a member as my senior year of that first ever sectional championship at Crawfordsville and the 83 football season, and that's one of those memories that will stay with you your entire life.
And a real class act. B.J. Slicker, as the clock ran down to 0, ran all the way across the field to shake hands with Coach West of Monrovia, because he and Coach West have worked together 4 straight summers at passing camp, and Coach West said many, many very nice things to us during the course of this week about B.J.
The 1995 Sectional Championship Trophy to the North Montgomery Trojans. Congratulations, Coach. Ladies and gentlemen, the coach of the 1995 sectional champions, Charlie German. You can't see us in here, it's because we're just a little happier than usual here tonight. For all the football players here, I'd like to thank every one of you up the stands, everybody up there by the baseball diamonds, for your support every game this year, no matter what the weather, no matter what the situation, you people were there. We all appreciate it. We all appreciate it. I'd like to thank the student body over there for being there every night for us over there. I'd like to thank the parents and the community. I'd like to have a few seniors say a few words now.
Those sectional championship shirts come out from the parents, from some of the fans. I see Coach Charlie German has one on the field, and that's just one of those things that it's just so much fun to see, and it'll be really nice to see as North Montgomery will travel next week. It looks like to play Chittard over in Indianapolis at one of the high schools over there. It'd be nice to see. I can remember when I was in high school, both my junior year when we went to the playoffs and lost to Franklin Central, then when we made it all the way to the Final Four before losing to Bishop Luers. A lot of other teams or kids from the county schools rode on our fan buses. They went along. A lot of people from the community outside the Crawfordsville community jumped on that bandwagon and supported us. It'd be nice to see that reciprocated. See a lot of Crawfordsville and South people follow North Montgomery next week as they head down to Chittard.
Exactly right, Tom. I remember going to those ball games with my dad. We'd ride the big coaches up to the Fort Wayne games, follow Crawfordsville. And like you said, there's a lot of people from from Southmont, Crawfordsville here tonight. Let's hope that they will continue to support North Montgomery as they try to go to the Dome.
I tell you what, and I'm going to hand my microphone over here to Brent Harris, who's been our great statistician all night. He'll give us our final game numbers.
Well, again, as North Montgomery wins their first sectional football championship by a final score of 40-0. Let's take a look at the final numbers. First for the visiting Bulldogs from Monrovia. On the ground, they finished 37 rushes for 68 yards. Passing tonight, starting quarterback Todd Huff was 1 of 5. Brad Huff came in, was 0 for 1. That gives them a total of 1 of 6 in the air. 1 interception thrown on the night. That was picked off by Yerkes. 4 yards total
total passing for the Bulldogs this evening. They finished with 72 yards of total offense. 6 first downs tonight for the Bulldogs. They had 6 on the ground, none passing, none by penalty. 3 fumbles on the night, 2 of them lost to the North Montgomerys, both of the North Montgomery Chargers, both of those recovered by Jason Brown. In terms of penalties, 3 mark-offs against Monrovia for a total of 15 yards. They had the football for 22 minutes and 59 seconds. They were 1 of 8 on 3rd down and 0 of 3 on 4th down. Some individual numbers. Chris Pryor finishes the game with 10 rushes for 23 yards. Sam DeWeezy finishes with 9 carries for 38 yards. Quarterback Todd Huff sacked 5 times in the contest. He finishes the night with 13 carries for minus 24 yards. Ryan Toole had a carry late in the game for 19 yards. Rose had a carry for 7 yards, and Huffman finished up the game with 3 carries for 4 yards.
Still a mic away from you real quick, and we've got Coach Tommy Lutz here, and Coach is trying to warm up. He's got himself a little coffee or hot chocolate, and I tell you what, before we get Coach Lutz, we're going to send them down to the field where Jeff Nelson has head coach Charlie German, sectional champions.
Just a couple of questions, BJ. Congratulations, man. Just hold the phone up. We'll just make it like it's with cellular, just like a telephone. You'll just be able to I'll ask you the questions. I'll just go like that, okay? Back and forth.
Jeff?
Yes.
Jeff, you're on. Go ahead.
All right, we're down here on the field. First, we're going to talk with BJ Slicker. And BJ, it doesn't make any difference how many times you got to try it. A sectional championship's got to make it all worthwhile, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. It's big for the coaches. They've been here for 13-some years, and they haven't won one. It's big for them, and this is my 4th try. It doesn't matter. 4th, it's big.
BJ, what during the course of the night, when did you guys start to feel that you were going to win this ball game? How did you get, and when did you get control of the game?
It was big when we could run the ball, and I knew when we could run the ball, I knew that set up our play action, and that they had to give us cushion, and then when we ran the ball, that was the difference.
BJ, I know we're going to let you go inside after one more question. How does it feel to hear the words North Montgomery sectional champion?
I'm proud of it. I'm proud of the coaches, all our seniors, and our players. We'll be ready next week. We're not done yet.
We'll be with you, big guy. Congratulations on a great win. BJ Slicker, 3rd best passer in the state of Indiana. We're going to walk right over here with the cellular phone. Coach Charlie German. Coach...